Hey, so I am officially 5 days post-op from my fourth brain surgery. So far everything's going really well. I am recovering way quicker than I have from any of the others. I go back to work on Tuesday. Um, it was crazy that, I went in to the doctor for what I thought was upper respiratory infection, then ended up in surgery the next day. But I had that weird feeling of, like I mentioned in the last video, that pack an overnight bag, like pack a hospital bag. And I didn't really think much of it, but I packed a bag, put it in the car, took it with me. No big deal. And so, I got there and got to the hospital and everything, and I still was thinking, I'm going to go home, no big deal. Because they thought it was meningitis. Then they finally figured out that it was my shunt. And so I ended up in surgery. But once again, I didn't have any fear whatsoever. I was waiting for the fear to kick in once again. I don't know why I wait and why I expect it sometimes. When God has already told me that I'm going to be okay, that He's got this, and that He's going to take care of me no matter what happens. I wasn't really in pain, like head pain, the typical symptoms that I had before. I didn't have a lot of those, nothing like I had last year. I was frustrated because I was 6 days away from making it out of 2016 without surgery, but that's okay. I had to have surgery with a different surgeon, and so that made me nervous because I didn't meet him until right before surgery. Right before surgery, they wanted to give me some anxiety medication that I guess also helps you lose short-term memory, so therefore you don't really remember before your surgery, after your surgery, and if you happen to wake up in the middle or whatever. And I refused that. And the anesthesiologist kept asking me, are you sure? Are you sure? And so did my mom. My mom was like, you're nuts. I'd be taking that. And I was like, I don't need that. I don't need any of that. I'm okay with remembering. I actually like to be able to remember certain things. And so, so once again, with the surgery, I didn't have any of that. I finally got to meet the surgical team. And so I actually had the entire surgical team there with me in my holding right before they rolled me back to the operating room. And so I had both neurosurgeons that was going to be in there. I had the team of general surgery, just in case something went wrong and they had to actually open up my stomach again like they had to the last time. The anesthesiologist, the nurse, all of that, all of them, I should say. And so they, I asked them, and I was like, weird question, but are you guys Christians? And they said yes. And so I asked if it'd be okay if I prayed, and they said yes. So that was really cool, being able to just pray with all of the team that was going to be in there, and that gave me a lot of peace, knowing that even though it's a different surgery, that God's hands were still going to be in it and all over it, and they're the ones, and that God was still controlling the surgery. So once again, like my first surgery, I moved myself into the OR table. I got to watch them, over there talking and going through the plan for the surgery and everything, and so I remember all that because I refused that medication. I woke up right after being rolled out of the OR, and so they said that I hadn't even been out of surgery for 10 minutes whenever I woke up. I was in quite a bit of pain when I woke up because they once again gave me fentanyl, and fentanyl is basically like water in my IV. It does nothing for me whatsoever. It's what they also gave me when I had my EVD, my second surgery, which was my awake surgery. That was super awful. And so, but the nurse ended up getting me the medication quickly that I needed and everything. And so I got to go home the next day. I got discharged. We did a couple more tests because they say I have hydrocephalus, but I don't technically have it because my ventricles don't enlarge. But then they try to say I have pseudotumor, but that didn't really fall in line either because I am not, I don't fit the qualifications for that either. So this new surgeon that did my case, he actually had a few ideas of what else it could possibly be. So we went ahead and did an angiogram, and so hopefully I'll get the results soon about that and be able to find out maybe we'll be able to find out what is causing my spinal fluid problem, which would be fantastic, and hopefully it is something that's an easy fix and not something that will require me surgeries the rest of my life like the shunt does. I always feel like I'm cussing every time I say that word, say shunt. But yeah, so I've been doing good. The only pain that I've really had this go around has been the actual incision pain. I've had a few like light headaches here and there, but nothing major, nothing like before by any means. I've been up and moving well, but it's just my incision is what hurts the most. My incision is also, one of them is over scar tissue, and then the rest of it's about 3 times longer than any of my other incisions, so it's quite big for me. And it's just really, really, really tight, and I have actual stitches this time. Last time it was dissolvable stitches, so that's also new, which could also be why the pain is a bit different. My best friend, my life manager, as I call her, Jessica, she is the one that saved my life before, and she took care of me, and she did all the fundraisers and got me on the news and found, just everything. I stole her thunder a little bit with the surgery because she had planned knee surgery for Wednesday, and the plan was for me to take care of her and her stay at my house because she couldn't be at home with all of the kids that she has. And so yeah, and I went and had emergency surgery the day before her surgery, but God is so good that he didn't allow me to be in pain that I couldn't handle, to where I was still able to take care of her. But she is way easier to take care of than I was. But yeah, so I was still able to take care of her and have her here, which was fantastic. We had 2, handicapped girls in my house. But I always loved best friend time. She went home tonight, which made me really sad, and I miss her already like crazy. But yeah, I haven't, I had my surgery on Tuesday, and I haven't had a pain pill since, I took my last pain pill Friday morning. So that's amazing. I was also on a low dose pain pill, so I never even required massive amounts like I did before. For the day of, the day of surgery, I had the pain medication right after my surgery, and then I didn't have it again until the next day. And so that was awesome. Typically I take really strong high doses of pain medication, and this time I was just able to do a really low dose of Norco. And so that was just a blessing all in itself. So yeah, this experience has been good. I'm going back to work on Tuesday, and so wish me luck with that. But all is well and God is good. Hope you all have a great new year.